Hello, my name is Rachel Beckham. I want to talk about my research topic is called How Does the Epic of Gilgamesh Influence the Fine Arts? The introduction is about the ancient literature. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a Sumerian poem within ancient Macedonia from the 3rd dynasty of Uruk. Scholars throughout time have Gilgamesh was a historical figure who ruled from 2800 to 2500 BCE. The epic poem is a very important piece of literature to modern times and how society could be formed from its influence. The epic tale helps develop the importance of the great arts throughout our history and how it influences us into what we become. How does this improve our society to develop the purest complexity into a brightest light? The epic poem became a powerful foundation of the new creation and new ideas into a deep level imagination. In ancient Greek, the foundation of the famous author named Homer was inspired by the epic poem of Gilgamesh that created the Iliad and the Odyssey. He became a very important Western literature writer of ancient Greek, and he developed the framework of storytelling within the fine arts and literature of modern times. This increased the inspiration of artists, writers, musicians, historians, and much more. This helps society takes its place to create a society from the creative side of reality. The Epic of Gilgamesh helped the purest development of the highest conscience on how we express ourselves with our emotions of being human and brought our imagination into a higher plane. The ancient literature shows us the importance of how the arts and literature form the epic beloved poem and the major influence on evolution and the advancement of modern arts and modern literature. The ancient tales help us increase the high level of great rationality, localization, and creative thinking alike. The epic tales have a major influence of religion from the ancient Babylonian and Sumerian with Mesopotamia. The Epic of Gilgamesh was used to explore the importance of theories of life and the life of during the ancient Macedonian time. My thesis statement is that many ancient artistic expressions of literature and the fine arts from the period of early mankind, a famous example is called the Epic of Gilgamesh. It shows how the oldest and earliest known literature works, how it demonstrates the arts, and how it brought the world into realization of the human emotion. The important quest of searching for eternal life and able to find the loss of his beloved friend Ikarud and establish itself into the fine arts. How the literature of Gilgamesh's tale were established within modern world, modern writing, and modern arts, and so it became popular recent years of interest of the current study. Furthermore, how does the tale of Gilgamesh influence the people within the fine arts? The introduction of the Epic of Gilgamesh, there are only a few ancient artworks of Gilgamesh. Because the tale is from early ancient times, only some ancient artifacts can be found. Only been discovered over the long periods of digging from the ground surrounding the ancient kingdom. Some of the artworks have been displayed. Gilgamesh is a perfect, powerful deity, god king of Uruk. The picture shows below is one of the famous wall structures of Gilgamesh. The image of him mollifying a lion symbolizes him in being displayed as a perfect, powerful warrior. Gilgamesh's long hair and beard displayed his holy symbol. The fall feature of Gilgamesh shows the perfect of a demigod. The artwork of Gilgamesh does help us manifest our enormous perception of him and what we would look like. The fine arts of all things can help us have a better understanding of mankind. The artists help us understand the meaning of interpretation to comprehend the meaning of it and how the literature can build a bridge between themselves and view them in our inner beings. The arts of Gilgamesh help us view the new dimension of animation to bring him into life for the people's mind and ancient civilization itself. Both the arts and literature have a different viewpoint of each of one with are able to influence the world. The author, Michael Woods, mentioned from his article, The Ancient World in Mesopotamia Birthplace of Civilization of 2010, that Iraq was created an advanced civilization 4,000 years early before Roman and Greek. The author wanted to introduce that ancient Greek was founded 5,000 years ago. He mentioned that the artist's land became the foundation of awakening literature, mathematics, and writing. The ancient of civilization became one of the most important places of mankind. He brings up a river system that was created in Macedonia and how the foundation had established. Throughout the centuries, Mesopotamia has developed the size of a Sylvian version of Egypt 5,000 years earlier. Mesopotamia became very influential for fellow artists and civilization. Mesopotamia created the principles of geometry, the wheel, the mathematics, science, astronomy, writing, time, space, and law codes. Mesopotamia became the first empire to ever written the Epic of Gilgamesh before Beowulf was created. Homer's famous works, including an inspiration of the Tale of Gilgamesh, Woods points out that the ancient civilizations such as Greek, Chinese, the Persians, and the Roman created their own form of human society. The foundation of the Tale of Gilgamesh created the branch of humanity's mind, and the amazing achievements of all mankind become the form of fine arts, literature, oral, and history. The tales offers the embodiment of us to embrace the creation of own existence to form the universe will keep ourselves observation. Touches upon the history of the ancient tales of Gilgamesh and how it's the oldest poem in history. This indicates that the Sumerian king began its civilization within the Mesopotamia from the Tigris and Euphrates in 6000 BCE. It's about the motivation, how the epic tales spread throughout Europe and Asia. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the few survivors of a complete poem. This does others Sumerian's inventions, the wheel, the irrigation, riding the plow, has the most sophisticated detail of the history of the influence of the epic tale within the ancient human civilization. Gilgamesh had the most structured theme. Storytelling was ahead of its time. The tale is very popular within modern mainstream. The author Rickman, in his article, The British Journal of Sociology, talks about how sociology has a mainstream and how it affects the current norm mainstream. The author wanted to mention the importance of thinking and researching of the past sociology and modern sociology. Rickman collected more than 50 years of the importance of sociology all over the world, and his novel has been a combination of poetics, philosophy, and sociology that he's offered to his readers. This article discussed the importance of humanity of science and radical viewpoint of all sociology. The author William A. Johnson discussed from his book Towards a Society of Reading in the Classic Antiquity that the Romans and the Greeks did read out loud or become the silent ones. The author mentioned how the ancient ones read within society are completely rare. The author brings up about how the ancient people are local readers and the silent readers are pure excellencies. The reading from the ancient times do have a major effects within the society construction of ancient civilization to modern times. The author had multiple complex discussion, including listing of the types of reading from the ancient times and modern times. He indicated that the present within cultural dimensions and several of the versions of writing, the ancient literature such as the Epic of Gilgamesh itself is one of the best readings of sociological mind of this generation. He mentions about the importance and how sociology seeks between the texts and the ancients and able to express and construction built. He remarks the deep meaning of the ancient read from the forgotten language and the well-known ancient language as well. He commented about how the reading habits is ancient time versus the most powerful aspects of the society and how it demonstrates the modern society and their reading from ancient built into different perspectives of the modern world. Theodore Zickerman article called Gilgamesh and an Epic Exception of the State of the Gilgamesh. The famous poem became even more popular throughout the modern times. Gilgamesh is in many video games, TV shows, books, comic books, textbooks, and novels, plays, poems, opera, and anime, and much more. He's stayed in recent years and became a famous observation within our modern times. The author demonstrates how the tale became so famous throughout discovery in 1873, especially the infamous Great Flood from the Holy Bible crossover to the Epic of Gilgamesh. This caused a great uproar of conspiracies. Throughout the 20th century, Gilgamesh's tale became an unbelievable sensation, became the inspiration of all the branches of writers, artists, and musicians. The fans of Gilgamesh are very careful in the focus on the historical aspect and made numerous of fan-fictional resourcefulness of his life based on the epic. The ancient tale has only TV show series and its own movies too. The author wanted to conclude that the Tale of Gilgamesh is based on the epic journey that survived thousands and thousands of years, and he's still every one of us today. The results that I found within my research data collection have shown that the themes from the Epic of Gilgamesh written within my research do simulate the theme of Gilgamesh does show proof that it does have major influence in our modern society, our entertaining world, and storytelling. My research my research is about the Epic of Gilgamesh is the most important influence in the fine arts and how influence evolved into our society. On what I want to do, how the tale of Gilgamesh itself within fine arts form in our modern pop culture, my research does search the importance of how the Epic of Gilgamesh have major influence form the foundation into our pop culture each decade from current to the past. My research did challenge the existing knowledge, approach the problem, and solve the solution about the important question of the Epic of Gilgamesh. My important observation above how human society and how the tale influences thing upon entering entertainment and social media. My research does offer a new approach about the ideas of the tales of Gilgamesh and a new insight influencing modern entertainment from current to past. I did investigation commentary problem on what the foundation theme from the tale. My literary review does search deeper into the history of scholars throughout history and discuss the Epic of Gilgamesh created the principle of literature of arts. Merge into our human world, discussing the creation of the tale, how an influence into different branches of the tales of life and fantasy. The important question I just addressed on how the foundational theme from the epic became the web of creation of arts written into our modern society. How the influence of each individual and how it builds within human beings as a whole. I did use my methodology from the past scholars who did not bring the importance about the tale's influence of the Pacific branch forming into new branches of study. My research does bring forth the new importance of the Epic of Gilgamesh converts into the arts and how it expresses itself into our modern world. The main conclusion I want to talk about is the Epic of Gilgamesh will always be the beloved epic poem ever been created thousands of years ago. The ancient tale itself helped the influence of Homer's tales. For example, the Iliad being an epic poem, another poem by Homer called the Odyssey. The arts of Mesopotamia and the arts of Babylonia and the Sumerians created the earliest arts all in ancient times. The art helped us focus the evolution of humans into a higher conscience, expressing the emotions of our imagination. The Epic of Gilgamesh has amazing ancient artworks express of what he and his friend looks like. The Tale of Gilgamesh helped us reach the wide audience into modern entertainment and the world alike. After World War II, the Tale of Gilgamesh stated to embrace into a new level of genre that had never been discovered. This has increased the inspiration of a new generation of artists, writers, musicians, historians, video game developers, and much more. All the literature I found so far does agree the importance of how the arts and literature from the earliest beloved tale had a major influence on our evolution and advancement of modern fine arts and modern literature. The ancients tell help us increase the high level of great creativity, thinkers, artists, and writers alike. I will continue my research of this amazing development of this special discipline. I want to increase the foundation out and more discipline to have improvement of my research. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this is a good learning experience that anyone can ever see. Thank you. Bye.